WrestleScream weekend, tear up the quiet. Tuesday night, man, I came for the riot. Bodies and monsters under one bad moon. October 9th and 10th, it's coming for you. Hurricane sounding under flickering lights, Sharpie ink on my old VHS spine. Ring ropes rattle in the ballroom heat. Every suplex shakes my seat.
I'll be digging that song a little. It does sound like Nickelback, though. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of WrestleScream Live Scream. This is Zappin' Slash Matthew with Hendrix, and we're talking Martyrs and
They Will Kill You, and a little bit of news on the side. What I've been watching this week, and a special guest to our community later on.
yeah. So before we get started, this is going to be airing. This is a recording. So we're going to talk a lot about and remind you guys about WrestleScream because the Never Back Down event is actually happening the same day that this is going to be posting, same night actually. So just to give you guys a full rundown on everyone that's going to be coming in on WrestleScream, we're going to break some of that down for you guys right now, and then we're going to get into our topics.
WrestleScream is invading Knoxville on October 9th and 10th. With your favorite horror movie stars and pro wrestlers from WWE, WCW, NWA, and AAA. With reunions from Return of the Living Dead, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Sleepaway Camp. Along with stars from Marvel, Nickelodeon, and all your favorite 90s pop culture icons. Then, as night falls, NWA Crossfire Wrestling brings you the biggest wrestling event in East Tennessee on each night with its yearly spectacle, Black Harvest. Vendor spots are selling fast, and tickets are on sale now starting at $20 on WrestleScream.com. Taking place at the Hilton Knoxville Airport in Alcoa, Tennessee. WrestleScream, the convention to die for.
That's right, the convention to die for. We are also going to be bringing in Jen Jameson. We'll show some more videos here later on, but as well as a full reunion of Sleepaway Camp, stars from Friday the 13th, The Nightmare on Elm Street, House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Reject, Scary Movie. I mean, the list goes on, along with superstars from WWE, WCW, ECW, NWA, AAA, and all across the board, superstars from across the world. So let's get into it because we continued our French New Wave experiment with Martyrs.
Yes, so with Martyrs, the cast, Mylene Jampanoy, and
Don't expect us to pronounce these completely correctly.
Morana or Morjana
Morjana.
Alloy. They probably have nicknames when they visit America. Like, my name's Marijuana, and my name's MJ.
Okay, so I have a semi-strong relationship with this movie because I watched it forever ago. I mean, when it originally came out, and I was just kind of flabbergasted by this movie. So whenever I was telling you about it, because we had watched Inside, we talked about that last week, and I said this one's rough, and not much has changed. I guess the biggest difference, in my opinion, on it is that I didn't remember the entire opening. I didn't remember the first half of the movie.
Well, I'm also going to go over the synopsis. So
You do that.
Lucy, as a young girl, she was held captive. We don't really know by who or what, a phantom couple, and she escapes and she's haunted by some kind of womanly ghoul, maybe a haunted memory of somebody, or an actual ghoul was supernaturally following her. But luckily, I'm making this synopsis up because I'm not reading all of this on the back of the. Oh, which, by the way, Grindhouse Videos, and it's the same type of special edition that yours truly ordered from Walmart. Yes, and Walmart. Actually, I'm sorry, it's not Grindhouse Video, but they do have this one. Anna is her best friend since they were kids, and
They met at the orphanage.
Yeah. Everyone seemed to be very aware what happened to Lucy. Lucy's life gets better as a child, or they thought. And I think that's in 1971.
We don't really know much about Anna's, like, why she's there.
No,
They don't really go into that.
and the synopsis doesn't either. I'm pretty much summarizing the synopsis. But yeah, Lucy decides to get revenge on who she remembers to have done these things to her. Anna's apprehensive, not that it happened to her, but the depth and detail, because she does seem to be a little crazy in Anna's point of view, in our point of view. And then Anna makes a discovery.
Yeah, so this entire opening sequence, not really opening sequence, but the first half of the movie is fairly rough because we see this young girl escaping whatever kind of hell that she was living in, and she befriends this other young girl at this orphanage, and then years later, whenever they're both adults, essentially, she finds where we don't see what happened to her, but we cut to a family living inside of a house, and they seem like a fairly normal family. We get this whole sequence where they're talking over breakfast just about the boy. There's a boy who's going to be going to college, and then there's another young girl in the family, and plus mom and dad.
Apparently, the young girl's name is Marie.
Marie, yeah, and they're just talking about the kids' options for college, and the mom's kind of like hounding him a little bit. And
Well,
then
the mom's out back digging a trench too and messing with some kind of pipe. I just assumed it was some home plumbing, but
it comes into play later on of where it might have led to, where it might be, why they have pipes so big and so deep in the ground. But
well, and this scene does begin with the daughter running and screaming like she's in peril, but it just turns out it's her and the brother. She stole like a love letter. The daughter seems a little mature for her age, by the way she's talking, and like you said, the mother is kind of hounding into him a little bit, and there is something in the air around this family. It's not said, and they're not behaving in whatever this feeling is, but it's there. Some reason they want the kids to not be there and be like them.
yeah, and it's interesting because they're kind of just living out a normal mundane family breakfast, and then there's the doorbell rings, and the dad stands up and goes and answers it. When he does, what's the girl's name? Not Anna, but
Marie.
No, the main girl who was tortured.
Lucy. Yeah,
Lucy,
Lucy's wearing a hood, and yeah, you can kind of tell it might be Lucy a little older, but apparently the actress just looks very young for her age because it's been 15 years.
Yeah,
it's not a couple of years.
She literally pulls up a shotgun and blows the dad away, comes into the kitchen, shoots the mother, and then the young daughter, goes to run upstairs, and then the boy, is like afraid, and she makes some kind of comment to him like, "Do you know who your parents were?"
No, she asked, did you know what was going on?
Yeah.
And
he kind of alludes that he does.
Well, the way he responds is he responds by he technically shakes his head No, but this young actor was really good at delivering like
He darts
Here.
his eyes like,
well no I'm gonna do it. It's like if I were to be asked, did you know about this? He went
yeah,
yeah, not really
yeah.
sure.
So she kills him, and then she goes upstairs where the daughter is, and the
Well, the
daughter's
daughter
hiding.
absolutely should. I don't. The daughter does not know about it.
I'll get into it later on. I believe that they do, but there's a reason why. Because so she goes upstairs, and the daughter's hiding under the bed, and she climbs on top of the bed, and she starts and she starts shooting through the bed, and then the daughter tries to escape, and then she gets shot and killed as well. She goes back into the living room. Everyone's dead, or at least we think they are. And she picks up the phone and she calls Anna on a payphone. And Anna kind of freaks out, but Anna meets her there and comes to the house as well. And simultaneously, while this is happening, we see this horribly scarred and deformed woman who looks like it's like Passion of the Christ,
People
but
under
a
the
woman.
stairs,
Yes,
type,
very
but
people,
naked
yes,
and
yeah,
crawling like the Grudge.
and trying to attack Lucy. But we get the sense that it's kind of in her head. And
I kept thinking it was Lucy.
yeah. And anyway, so Anna shows up and Anna starts cleaning up the house, and that she's trying to like move the bodies around. They're taking their precious time.
Well, not they. Lucy. I can't remember what she was doing, but while Anna, I mean, apparently Anna is a small girl because it took all the way from middle of the afternoon to nightfall and the pouring rain for her to just drag two bodies, the dad and the son. The daughter and the mom's bodies were still being stored in the shower. And I'm like, help her. Help her.
You know what though?
It's your mess.
Whenever they're both in the bathroom, though, there is a moment there where Lucy and Anna are together, and then Anna tries to kiss Lucy, and Lucy's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, maybe she read this as like, well, we've been close all these years.
Mhm.
Maybe this is what you need. Maybe
we can bond sexually over all this murder.
Maybe that'll help. Nope. Okay.
Yeah. And she's still kind of seeing this thing in her mind, and we're kind of wondering why. Well, simultaneously, Lucy finds out that the mother who has been shot in the stomach is still alive.
Well, and Anna apparently knows about this. I call it the female ghoul. She's like a ghoul.
Yes.
Because we don't know anything yet. Because she has referred to her and says, "Is she here?" When she first got to the house, she goes, "Is she here?" And she's like, "Yes." So she knows of her. We're led to believe that this thing is real.
And she's saying like, "Why are you tormenting me? I did what you told me to do, which is kill everybody."
She rubbed her hands in the victim's blood and like cautiously walks around the house to show her. But because, like you said, Anna finds out that the mom is actually still alive. Anna tells her, "Be quiet." But what was so weird, and I said this while we're watching, the ghoul is acting like she knows that they're not all dead. So
right?
Even the mystery to this day, how if this is on Lucy's head, because Lucy doesn't know that the mom's alive. How would Lucy's figment and Lucy, if she's a figment of imagination, how would she just somehow know that?
Well, we know she has to be a figment of her imagination because once Lucy dies,
they basically
the
pull a high
gone.
tension.
Yeah. So and Anna tries to save this mother, and Lucy's not having it.
No, because she even assaulted Anna. Well, not really. She more like pulled a Jill from Scream 4 and threw a fit, and she just didn't throw herself on the coffee table.
Yeah, Lucy has a full mental breakdown after actually killing the mother, and just completely destroys herself. I won't go into how she does. Facebook and social media doesn't like whenever you talk about
We'll call it self-assault.
yeah. And she is self-assaults herself to where she's no longer alive.
Yeah.
So it's bad. It's very rough.
Well, let's put it this way. It starts off with the image of the female ghoul doing it to her.
Uh-huh.
And then we see she's somehow doing it to herself, almost in a Jill from Scream 4 way.
Yeah.
Even hitting her head against the wall.
Yeah.
But Anna is, of course, distraught and upset and a little in denial that she's gone. Cleans her up. And there for a little bit, I'm like, well, is she alive? No. We forgot. Before Lucy does this,
We find out who the ghoul is.
well, no, she throws herself out the window, Texas Chainsaw Massacre style. So that happens before she leaves the mortal.
I mean, it's just bad. It's bad because we find out that Lucy, this thing that is following her around is whenever she was younger and she broke out of this torture building,
like abandoned
it was
factory.
like abandoned factory where she was being tortured, and as she escaped, she saw another room and there was a woman in there who was just completely annihilated but wanted to escape. This woman couldn't even talk anymore. She was just
People
gone.
under the stairs looking like
and the woman was kind of reaching for her and she didn't save her, so she left. So this entity that is following her around is her internal guilt. It's like survivor's guilt, really. It's what it is. It's survivor's guilt. And
I mean,
that's this thing following her around.
Yes, but the film doesn't really say that's what it is, so we could be led to believe it's supernatural after we find out what we find out. But yeah, it is implied that Anna doesn't completely believe her. She believes what happened to her because I mean, there's proof that the little girl was tortured, her head was shaved, and there was images of people force feeding her and slapping her if she didn't. But I mean,
well, and then
Anna, I think it's not that she didn't believe the things she said because she even asked, "Do you not believe me?" It's obviously Anna does not see the school, but Lucy does, so she thinks it's a trauma thing.
Yeah, and this is where I said I think the girl knows, the daughter. I think the little daughter knew because once Anna goes back in the house, there's like it's like about waist high, maybe a little taller than waist high cabinet that kind of runs the length of a wall, and something falls behind it. And then she looks down there and then she just opens up the door and it opens.
It's a secret doorway.
It's a secret door passage, but it's not secret. You just open the cabinet. Well, you gonna tell me that little girl never opened that cabinet?
Okay, well that's not how movies work. If okay, so
logistically speaking.
Okay, well how writing in movies work is if there would really be no reason for that secret doorway to be a hidden cabinet if it's implied that the whole family knows. Because story-wise, if the whole family knows, then it would just be a door, just some random little doorway.
No, because what if you have guests over? And then you're like, "What's in that door?" But even if it is hidden, I've lived in this house my whole life. There isn't a single inch of this house that I haven't been through as a child. So even if it is,
you're
hidden,
thinking realistically though.
Yeah, no.
You're not. You're thinking like in real life. I'm thinking, is it smart writing? No, but I'm thinking she didn't because if she did, why would they have the character ask the older brother if he knew? Because she didn't even ask the daughter. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is something they should have went a little more into.
I think she did. That's just my opinion. But either way, so she goes down the steps of this corridor and she finds this hallway and it's lit up and it looks very medical. It looks
It's
very
a
metal
very
and medical.
clean, like
a hospital.
high tech lab. So they've upgraded from like a rundown factory to a clean, sterile lab. That then
Mhm.
there's a ladder that goes
No,
down.
let's talk about the photos on the wall first.
Yeah, it's photos of various women in the middle of
And
tortures.
children.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
all gendered female. Um,
Mhm.
well, you don't know that until
Because these are photos of people. Not all of them had been
throughout
tortured. Like
time.
it was like one was a kid who was dying of leukemia,
They're all like on the
verge
doorstep,
of death, right?
but
And then
still alive.
those photos look real, and I believe that those photos are real. Like I believe that those are like death photos. But um, so yeah, and then she finds this ladder and she goes down in there and she sees this seat with a hole in the center of it and change, just like her friend
Lucy was sitting on as a
Yeah,
girl,
yeah,
but cleaner.
yeah. And then so this is when she hears noise and there's a woman that is chained up down there
Yeah,
who kind of looks like the ghoul.
yeah. Actually,
Worse.
the movie didn't even really establish if it might have been the same person, but now that I'm seeing the date, 1971 is when Lucy was little and escaped, and this is the early 2000s. I don't think it's the same woman because you can kind of tell that this girl was probably 20s or 30s.
Yeah, and she also
Worse,
has
yeah,
this.
she had like a crotch plate and a head plate screwed into her head and her
Yeah,
body.
with like these staples, and it was covering her eyes so she couldn't see, and then this other thing across the top, and she was just covered in lashes. And Lucy freaks out, gets
Not
her out of
eyelashes.
there, and takes her upstairs, and then proceeds to pull the staples out of her head and put her into a bathtub. But when she pulls that metal thing off of her face, the skin has just liquefied over her eyes. It is like it is so disgusting, pussy, nasty. It's gross. It's
Well,
really rough.
and there's something important that when you're watching this, you have to remember from all the previous scenes. Anna, now Anna's the lead of the movie.
Mhm.
She's a caretaker. Like she has been since she was little with Lucy. She's always,
Yep.
and I assume she's a little younger than Lucy. And so
She is, yeah.
she's always taking care of Lucy or other people who tend to be older than her or stronger than her. And I mean, I'm in healthcare, so I understand that kind of personality. It's almost like a selfish thing a little bit because it's like you have this addiction to helping and pleasing people to a
Mhm.
point. What it's actually about, and it's implied in this movie, it takes you away from your own problems as long as you're taking care of someone else.
Sure, because we really don't know anything about her
Nothing.
while she's
And
there.
that's the only reason why, because I can connect with that, because I don't like dealing with my own problems. And the best way is to find something, because like right now, if she doesn't take care of this woman, then she has to actually deal with the fact that Lucy's dead.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's a
But
good
she
point.
even apologized to Lucy out loud after she makes this discovery, meaning she didn't believe her
Or she
completely.
she did completely, but doubted her because there was always the thing of like, oh, this happened to you when you were really young. Are you sure this is the same people?
Yeah,
Like,
and it
it was.
we don't know that either because we later find out it seems like this organization always seems to have the same type of looking people.
They
A
did look
blonde-
the women look similar.
Because we have another set of characters that replace them: a blonde woman and a big, stocky built guy. It's
Yeah.
always a couple that they
Well,
put together in these experiments.
so she puts this woman in the bathtub and she's trying to help her, and then she kind of like passes out. But then when she wakes up, this woman is clawing at her own arms and bashing her head against the wall. And then Lucy tries to help her, And then when she does, this shot rings out. This woman gets shot and killed. And then now these other people have entered the house.
Wait a minute, a light bulb just popped up in my head. Scratching and slashing at her own arms and hitting her head against the wall. This woman has to be the same mystic ghoul that Lucy was
I felt like she was.
because that's how Lucy died. And I think, well, another phantom realization is that how would Lucy know that? How to kill herself in that way? If that's not what the woman's problem was, because we later find out the woman, through her trauma, started hallucinate bugs in her skin.
Cockroaches on her skin, yeah.
Yeah.
That they were under her skin. Yeah. And so,
It has to be the same.
Yeah. And so, anyways, these people knock out Lucy, and then she wakes up in the basement where she
Anna.
Anna, sorry, where she's tied to that chair. And this old woman shows up, and this woman sits down and talks with her. And she's like, tells her, "Oh,
She shows her the pictures of all the near-death women.
And then she tells her, like, "Oh, you were friends with such and such. She escaped us last year whenever our operation was in its infancy."
And she escaped us years ago.
Yeah. And she then shows her the photos of these people dying, of real people dying, and then she explains to them
Do you
that
see in their eyes? Look the
Yes.
way their eyes look. It's like they're there, but they're not there. They're seeing something that you can't see, and that this very thing only happens. She doesn't say this, but this is how I'm going to explain it. 2 out of every 10 women. Get 10 women together, only 2 of them are going to experience this through such continuous trauma, is what she basically says. So that's what they're trying to experiment. What is this that they're seeing?
Yeah, and it's like they're seeing something on death's door. It's that whole concept that we've all heard our entire lives, is like when you have a near-death experience and you see a tunnel and something going on, that these people are so close to death that they have transcended life and they are living somewhere in the bridge between life and death, the gap
And
between.
yes, it basically is a justification of doing horrible things to people, but I truly do believe that every single one of these people, the woman, the man and woman that are partaking in the tortures, that they do believe this is like an experiment. Because if you've noticed, when you watch this movie during the force feeding or the man beating them up, torturing them, they don't have an expression or body language like any other horror movie, like they're enjoying it. It's almost like
It's a job.
you're mopping or cleaning the floor. It's like, or taking care of a patient. Literally, when the woman's feeding her, she has the body language of a nurse.
So we then find out that Anna is going to have to go through this. And
you know it, and you're kind of dreading it.
And so she's chained to the chair, and I don't really I don't care about talking about the torture. I really don't. We can I just want to, so that people know that she goes through these. We have described the woman with the cuts and all these horrible things that were happening to people. Anna goes through this ordeal, and she's so strong and mentally strong that her brain doesn't break.
Well, here's the thing I noticed. She doesn't really, they don't put her through everything.
Exactly. She doesn't have to.
Well, hold on. They don't put her through everything. Because see, here's the thing. 1, Lucy didn't, she escaped before they could put her through everything else that other women did. 2, they don't have to. So these face plates and ass plates and front butt plates, we kind of figure the extended torture, which looks horrifying, I think is for people who, like she said, instead of being transcending types, they're more victim types. It's kind of meta the way they explain
Their
it.
brains break.
It's like final girls. Not every woman's a final girl material. Final girls are going to be the type to shut their brain off during torture to where they can take it, to where they can, and that's Anna. Anna doesn't have to get to the point to where they have to put plates on her or this. And actually, the longer it goes on, I notice the force feeding actually starts to become
like a child, like a
passionate.
baby.
The woman actually starts being nice because they notice that she is transcendent able.
Yes.
She's
Okay.
showing signs of it. That's what I noticed.
Right before the final
So
stage.
she doesn't have to go through too much until the final stage.
Either way, so there is quite a bit of the dude beating on her, but
That's hard to watch.
that's hard to watch. And what? So, but okay. So essentially, though, right before she goes through the final stage, she does have a small moment where her brain kind of breaks a little bit, and she starts crying, and they've shaved her head, and she hears Lucy's voice. And Lucy tells her Lucy says, "How are you so strong?
Or
How are
it's
you
not,
doing this?"
or it could be.
And
All
then
these different
Anna,
actual hints are not proved to be.
and then Anna says, all she says is, "I miss you." That's it. And then she gets taken into this room where they proceed to completely fillet her. So think about the characters from the movie Hellraiser, where they have no skin on their body.
I actually saw online someone put together the female Cenobite
Mhm.
and put it side by side by her picture
Mhm.
looking up. And I mean, it is very Hellraiser-esque because Pinhead and the Cenobites always talk about
Pleasure and pain.
pleasure, pain into a transcendence of
Yeah.
ecstasy.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do to these women. And
All that's left is her
actual face.
her actual face.
The effects look great.
Yeah.
But yes, in a cross, and she's looking up.
She's like in a yes, she's on this. It's like, but it's like a medical gurney type thing that is like holding her up. She's not like on a cross, but it is very religious looking.
When the woman comes in to go feed
the old
her,
woman.
no,
Oh no,
the blonde woman comes in to feed her, and then all of a sudden the guy in the actual house, no effort to hide the hidden cubby because they don't have kids yet. I guess they've not lived there long enough.
He hears her scream.
Hears her scream.
Mhm.
I'm thinking something bad's happened or whatever. No, she comes back and tells him she has this look in her eyes that
It's the look.
but she also says, even with the ones I've transcended, this is different from that too. It's too different.
She looks, yeah.
And so they call the woman, which by the way, the old woman in the casting she doesn't have a character name. The French movie we talked about, Inside,
Mm-hmm.
the woman who was always after the other woman's baby,
Mm-hmm.
she was titled the same name. It's La Femme. And I'm thinking in French horror movies, if there is a female antagonist, they title them the La Femme, like Femme Fatale, but it's La Femme. And I've noticed that.
I would have to. There used to be a show called La Femme Nikita. So I don't know what that means, but anyway, so she's there and she goes up to Lucy and she's like, or Anna. What am I?
It's Anna.
It's
Lucy's
Anna.
dead.
Yeah, Anna. She goes to Anna and she's like, tell me what you see.
Actually.
And then Anna leans in and whispers in her ear. We don't hear, but then we cut outside and all these business people are showing up. And they're talking to each other and they're like, the guy does a really good job because he stands up in front of the whole group and he was like, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday at 3 p.m. our subject reached transcended, and she spoke to our leader and she is going to tell us that message today.
I'm going to show, because they don't have cards in this, So before I show anyone, I'm covering up any nude parts, but I'm showing one of the alternative covers. This is what the ghoul, the female ghoul, looked like. I guess they liked the look so much they decided to put it on the cover. But this is it. If you look online yourself, Martyrs has this as a cover. That's the head plate and the below the waist. And actually, I'm remembering the daughter earlier before she got shot and killed makes a remark in a joke. That's very below the belt, Mom. And that I'm actually going to say. Matt's right. The daughter might have known about it because I looked it up a few days ago when she goes, "That's so below the belt." That's a reference to their current prisoner having the.
Maybe.
No, they said it is. So
Yeah.
you're right. She does know.
I
And
think so too.
That's Anna handcuffed to the hidden lab.
So
Continue.
yeah, so the guy who's kind of telling everybody like she's going to tell us what happened, but he also says after she delivered that message,
With him.
that she hasn't spoken again. And then we cut back to Anna and we go into her eyes, and in her eyes we see a tunnel. So she's seeing a tunnel she has transcended somehow,
And it looks good.
yeah. And so the woman's upstairs in the room, and she starts like taking her eyelashes off and stuff, and the guy knocks on the door and he's like,
And this is
"Madame,
the guy.
are
A bunch
you
of people came for this. That's how unique the situation is all these people come to this house. They're apparently a part of the organization.
And he asks her, he's like, "Are you ready?" And then she sits down on like the bathtub, and he says something like, "Was it really what she said, you know, as shocking as you think?
What's the proof of
What's
there
the
being an
proof?"
afterlife?
Yeah. And then she says,
Keep doubting.
"Yeah, keep doubting," and then pulls out a gun and shoots herself.
So it's up to the viewer to decide.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, whether what she saw was. I think so. We'll tell them our theories. Mine is that I think the girl. I think honestly, in my opinion, the women, the unique women who transcend. I don't think it's just about willpower. First off, she is naturally a caretaker who takes joy and pleasure into helping others for herself. So I do feel like it's certain type of women of innocence who transcend.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think she did see proof of an afterlife because she heard her friend's voice before. And I think she just saw that, or someone told her, maybe time works different there, that all these people who are taking part in this experiment are probably not going to be able to go, so it doesn't matter. And I think that's what she was told, is that it doesn't matter because you tortured and killed all these women. You're not going. And then what do you think your theory is?
I think the idea is just that what she told her is so beyond human comprehension and so amazing and magnificent that the woman is like, that she, for one, that she wants to be dead so that she can go and be wherever that is, and two, but the only question that it answers is, okay, I can understand why you would want to go quickly, but then why would you want to keep the secret for yourself?
And why would you tell someone to keep doubting?
At the end of the day, it is a movie, so they are trying to do something with the end to leave fans in a shocked state. So I understand why they would do it that way.
I also noticed in this book, if you want to watch more American movies that it either inspired or was inspired by is Jessica Biel and the Tall Man
Mhm.
is in this book.
Hmm.
There's like I think one more. Apparently, Saint Ange. I don't know that movie.
Hmm.
If you guys want to check out movies that are cut from the same cloth,
Ghostland. Yeah.
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 So I mean, this is a really good addition.
The movie is, at the end of the day, the movie is a bit of a bummer. But I get why people like it
Well-
because it is deep and the acting is very good.
Yeah, I mean, and I looked at it like this. It's another like meta reference to like women and final girls, but on a more religious and scientific way because it's only women that they're doing this with.
Yeah. So, guys, we are going to take a small break. We're 40 minutes in, and we still got a few topics to talk about. One being They Will Kill You, and then another one being a special guest that's going to be coming to the area that Jake wants to bring up that I think is really cool. But we will come right back to you guys, and we're going to talk a little bit about Patricia Arquette,
Heather Graham,
and
Malfoy from Harry Potter,
Malfoy and severed. I want to talk about Patricia Arquette wearing a severed pig's head. Let's do it. We will be right back. I kind of like that jam too. Okay, guys. So before we talk about They Will Kill You, Jake, do you want to get into the person that's going to be coming into the area?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hold on. There's a pop up right here. I gotta be able to. Okay. All right. So on May 2nd at Comic Exchange off Chapman Highway, there's going to be a comic book writer that is going to make an appearance. He's going to do signs. I believe first signings are free. Then anything else, if you want to do more, it's $10 or something. I don't know. I just know Scott Snyder is going to be at Comic Exchange. And relax, I have done the research for you guys on what you should probably want to have most signed. So first off, his Absolute Batman issue number 1. They say always do first issues. First issue number 1, sign. Make sure the spine of the comic is in good shape also, if you want to get a 9.8. Also, to make it even more valuable, you want to have like a what they call a CG witness, or I think you can take it to go get verified or something. We actually got one across the street from us. So I've got the issues written down that are his most popular. Absolute Batman issue number 1. Absolute Batman Arc M. My favorite, The Dark Knight's Death Metal. It's the one where Wonder Woman has a blue streak in her hair and is literally modeled after a lead rock band singer, and she's wielding a chainsaw. And Superman has like torn off sleeves, long rocker hair, and Batman looks like Mad Max. It's a great run, and almost all the covers are foil. Oh, that's another thing. If you don't have the first issue that you want signed, a foil cover of any issue will be good too. Harley's Greatest Hits, Wonder Woman 750, the All In Special, Infinite Frontier 0, and almost all of the Justice League totality runs, which is almost like 30 issues, which you can get there too. Give Comic Exchange some of your business. Try to find something there if you need. But I'm telling you, everybody has something of Scott Snyder's, and I've got some of them here. One, my most favorite, is the Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman crossover. And this is a special edition cover of issue 16. It's the only one where he crosses over with Wonder Woman. It's the first one because this is a different universe where different things happen. You guys would know that. And the DC KOs, he's done, I think, almost all of them. But if you're wanting to know, this is all in because there's this issue was free. It's a flip. But yeah, even the DCKO with the absolute characters, because they cross over. It's where like the main DC universe, then you've got the absolute where Darkseid created it, and it's kind of a darker version where Wonder Woman never was born on the Mascara. She has a magical arm, and she's like Wanda. She wields magic. Superman never came down to Earth until he was a teenager, and his parents are alive. And I think his powers are more like demented. And Batman was never a millionaire, and he's like built bigger than Superman. And they finally crossed over. I forgot what issue it was. I think it's the it's this one, DCKO issue 4. They all cross over. So yeah, go do that. And also April 22nd. Speaking of Scott Snyder, have him sign your Batman Deadpool crossover comic. Not Deadpool Batman, Batman Deadpool. Because Spider-Man Superman's coming out, where an issue where those two, Wonder Woman and Jane Foster Thor, team up. And it's supposed to be a big hit. All of this.
And he's gonna be where at again?
He's going to be at Comic Exchange May 2nd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The
So
Comics Exchange is an awesome store. It's like you're headed like into Knoxville off of Chapman Highway.
yeah, you'll know. Just go look on Zap and Slash. Just the Zap and Slash page. I'll update like a whole like list and where and the address, and I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Or you can go to Comic Exchange Facebook page.
So I do want to talk about They Will Kill You, and I don't want to get into spoilers because I want people to go see the movie. But I just want to talk a little bit about what I expected coming in and what we got. And they did a really good job at promoting this movie, but for whatever reason, it didn't land with people. Like it didn't do very well at the box office. But I had an absolute blast watching this. It's produced
No pun
by
intended.
yeah.
Absolute.
I had a blast watching this. It was produced by Andy Muschietti, so the director of It, of the new It films and the It television show. And the best way to describe this is like if Kill Bill and the Evil Dead movies
Ready or Not.
and Ready or Not all like mashed together.
Yeah.
'Cause you have Patricia Arquette in the movie, and it's if you've seen the trailer, it's not a shocker. She's kind of the villain, but it's essentially
She's a sympathetic villain a little bit.
kind
too.
of, and you're in this giant motel with them that ends up being like this satanic cult, and she's trying to save her sister. And she's a badass, essentially. Our main girl is a badass.
Yeah, she's actually in the synopsis. I think she housekeeper. Yeah, she's referred to as a housekeeper. Goes to look for a new job, and it happens to be this like private satanic hotel in the middle of New York City, looking for her sister. And of course, at the beginning of the movie, you get like The Shining and all kinds of suspicious vibes.
There is a pretty cool twist that I don't want to get into because there is a lot of death in this movie, or there's a lot of gore in this movie, a lot of blood, and there is a pretty cool little twist with it. But really, what I want to talk about is the aesthetic and how well they did with our main character and just how the movie is filmed. Because whenever I say Kill Bill, it really is structured. The fight sequences are very structured, like Kill Bill and the fight at the House of Blue Leaves.
And with like these certain characters' abilities, it kind of reminds me of Deadpool also.
The Heather Graham one was hysterical.
Well, not just that. I mean, the actress, herself. What I have it written, Zazie Beetz.
Mhm.
She was Domino in Deadpool, and she was not in Deadpool 3. But this kind of makes up for it because she kind of reminds me of her character Domino a little bit. I mean, it's definitely a Kill Bill superhero situation.
This looks like it was fun to film.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, we've got Heather Graham, Patricia Arquette, Tom Felton, and Zazie Beetz.
Mhm.
Those are the biggest names of the movie.
I mean, what you have in this is you have just a masterclass of cool concepts. We're talking like sequences where she lights an axe on fire and goes to town on a
In a
whole
dark
room,
room.
in a dark room, and sequences with swords, shotguns, climbing up and down elevator shafts, going through walls, hidden compartments. And then I really enjoyed the finale of the film because at the opening of the film, we see the camera starts at the top of the motel where there's this red window that has like a
It's a stained glass with the devil.
with a 5-pointed star,
Oh, yeah,
and
I
then
think,
the
yeah.
camera pans down, and then the movie ends in the attic at that location. The only thing I do want to talk about, which I thought was really cool, and it's going to go over a lot of people's heads, is whenever this satanic cult, whenever they call upon their deity, whether it be the devil or whatever it is, we see this severed pig's head on a stake, like at an altar.
Which makes sense because all the characters, Patricia Arquette, Tom, and Heather, and some other characters, they wear hooded slickers and like a pig's mask made of wood when they are on the prowl.
Yeah.
And they're not, we noticed they're not going through and killing all the maids and housekeepers.
Yeah, they kind of pick and choose who they want to keep.
Well, it's like one apparently every so often.
Like
but
one of them was
lot.
caught stealing, so they dealt with her and then decided to replace her with our main character's sister.
Well, because some of these characters, it seems like they don't really like the killing, but they benefit off of it.
Yeah, so well, that's part of the twist. But I like the fact that they use a pig's head because if anyone is a religious scholar, kind of knows about the devil and as it pertains on the biblical front, there is a passage in the Bible where Jesus and his followers come across a man who is possessed by a demon or the devil. I think it says the devil. And he casts that devil into a herd of swine, and those swine run off a cliff, killing themselves. And I think it's insinuated that the head of one of these swines was one of those swines. So
Because
that's where it gets very Evil Dead-y, right? It feels like Evil Dead. Well, there's a whole sequence in this movie where there is a eyeball that is rolling around and following our main
Heather
character.
Grant, yeah, because okay, I'm gonna go ahead into because it's not really a spoiler because in towards the beginning of the movie we discover that these characters that are hunting our main character down, they can regenerate like
Mhm.
Deadpool, because she did a great job killing all these people, and I was like, already killing off these big faces. Then we see they're holding their severed heads, they're walking, they
Mhm.
can regenerate, and they even reference writing, they get these abilities by having their name on a list.
Carved onto the swine, yeah. And it's part of the
Well, they didn't say that. They said on a list.
Well, yeah, but the list is on the
I know, but
yeah.
the whole twist, you don't know that the list is on the head of a swan
Yeah.
until the end.
But that's where the whole thing kind of, especially the end sequence, really reminds me of Evil Dead. And again, I don't want to fully describe everything because I really think that people should go watch this.
Yeah, we
movie
don't
in
want to
the
spoil
theater
too much. Like
because
the
it's
sister she's
really good.
the sister she's trying to save. We're gonna leave that one of the few things we're not gonna spoil. Whether or not the sister is gonna go with her or if she gets saved.
Mhm.
There is something about the sister though. Uh, that's a good twist.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean they can regenerate. So basically, if your name is on the swan and it does not get erased,
You're immortal.
but yeah, you're immortal. You can regenerate. So just keep that in mind.
But it still hurts, you know.
Yeah, they still hurt, but they did reference that some of the family members had lived all the way back when
Yeah.
the settled times. The only one that didn't was Patricia Arquette and her African American husband. They started out as staff, just like the main character's sister, but they worked their way up.
Well, and I do like how they talk about how kind of like, oh, do you remember how hard it was for us? And then you see that picture on how old they are. So it makes me think they had a tough life because of their relationship. Because back then it wasn't
Mixed
normal for
race,
mixed
yeah.
race wasn't a thing. So, and then her husband is a kind of sympathetic. He is a sympathetic character, and then Patricia Arquette is, and then she isn't, and then. But at the end of the day, the movie structures itself as a horror action comedy, and it succeeds on all those levels.
Yeah, it's a
It's
genre
funny.
bender.
Yeah, it's funny. The action's amazing. The gore is fantastic. Like, and Heather Graham looks like she hasn't aged a day.
Yeah, and it made me want to see if this movie was based on like a comic or a book of some sort, just like Kill Bill. It's not. It's original. It's an original. And I mean, I kind of hope there will be a sequel. The end does end in a sequel esque where you kind of hope that certain characters will find another
There may be more to
twist
it. Yeah.
supernatural. Yeah, because it seems like it's a world. This movie seems like you could build a world of like, instead of like just your regular superhero type of story, maybe like a dark, gritty horror version, kind of like Spawn or well, Kill Bill. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but we don't have to either. This movie, the way it ends, is good enough too. There is one little thing you'll notice at the end where there's like a detail that's a little weird that kind of makes you think it'll continue, but nothing that like jumps out that someone's still alive or anything like that. It's a satisfying movie. Don't pay attention to reviews and ratings because
The reviews have actually been good, but
really, because I've been confused.
it just hasn't. I think it's just because it's how they promoted it, and I think it's just because it's a bit of an oddball film that it's had a tough time landing with an audience. But the horror people definitely missed out
Well,
not
see,
seeing this in the theater.
I would have thought like I've noticed there's a big cult following for Domino and specifically her iteration of Domino because Domino in the comics is a white girl. But I'm one of those people that likes her Domino. A lot of people were upset that she wasn't in Deadpool and Wolverine. She was the one character that didn't reprise a role.
Yeah.
Well, if you're one of those people, go watch this. You will be so satisfied that this movie is actually all about her. And I can kind of tell that she probably didn't have too many stunt double scenes. Like a lot of it seemed like a lot of it was her.
It's hard to tell nowadays.
Well, but I'm not big on like making a movie all about politics. If you want to have a movie all about politics, then you should do a documentary or something. But if you are the type of person that likes a little bit of modern politics and wokeness, this is a good movie for that too, in a good way. It's done better, and I mean, our lead, like Buffy, is a minority character who does suffer through realistic things that women like her do go through every day.
Mm.
They don't make it like the whole topic, but I've noticed like the darkness of this movie is women like her trying to find a job, but then you find out she learned those moves. Not, I thought they were gonna say that she was an assassin or a secret hit
It was
woman.
prison.
No, it was prison from having to
Fight.
defend herself.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I like the movie. I like the politics in it. I should say it's like underlining metaphor politics.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's I think it's really good. I mean, I'm actually a little disappointed that there's no source material or anything because
You want more of that world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want more.
Yeah.
But if you like stuff like that, I mean, there are comic book characters with lead female roles who fight demons and devil worshippers.
I mean, it's set up for a sequel, although I don't think we'll get one. But if they did do one, they could call it "They Will Kill Us." So there's room to do something if they ever wanted to, and like if the movie found a really good home, like if it ended up on a Netflix or a Paramount and it got really high streaming, I could see them maybe doing like a direct to stream type thing, but sequel type thing. I don't know. We'll see.
I have an idea. Ready or Not 2 and They Will Kill You. They kind of have a similar premise, but both sets of characters kind of use the satanic and devil thing for different reasons in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, why couldn't they do a crossover of Zazzy's character, Samara Weaving, and Catherine Newton's character? And it turns out
Two sisters.
they had to deal with cults that were trying to benefit off of the devil, and they find, oh, same world. And I mean, it does seem like a theme here lately. The story of sisters.
Yeah.
That's one reason why I wanted to do Martyrs,
and that's
with this.
one reason why I think that the movie didn't do very well, is because it came out very close to Ready or Not 2. So I think that's
well. Hey guys, you got to realize if they copied Ready or Not 2, they were both in production at the same time. One or the other script would have had to like leaked, which that's their fault.
And I like They Will Kill You a little bit better. Anyways,
I like the first Ready or Not. The second one was cool.
Wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
But They Will Kill You. Yeah, one thing I
had a
wanted
better
to
time.
say before we go. Here lately I have been binging Scream Queens, which I thought the second season sucked, and then I was even telling Matt like that John Stamos is in it, Brooke Shields, Kirstie Alley, Niecy Nash again. I mean, the second season I like it better than the first, so I would give it a shot. The whole reason why they didn't get renewed for season 3 is because not a lot of people watched it. It was like a medical horror, and you had like unique characters that had like unique medical problems, because the whole premise was Jamie Lee Curtis was running a hospital meant to cure unique diseases. So the Chanels were recruiting Chanels to replace the dead ones who had like frozen faces or Mobius syndrome, all kinds of weird things. Some things are a little offensive in this show, but season 3 is definitely in talks. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up, this is a horror podcast. Emma Roberts, Billy Lord, Keke Palmer, and Leah Michelle. We're not sure about Jamie Lee Curtis or Abigail, the other Chanel. But it's supposed to be like a Friday the 13th premise where it's a summer camp and Emma Roberts and Chanel's and Keke Palmer are like reporters or camp counselors, camp owners. So it's a for sure done deal after we get American Horror Story season 13. And I'm psyched for it because I thought the show was comedic, smart. Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't be in something if it weren't good. So look that up, Google it. I know he has had a hard time with bringing this back. It's been almost a decade. He has said he's bringing season 3 out, and then he gets shot down, but it looks like it's a for sure thing, and it looks promising.
Cool. Well, guys, we will be back next week. We'll have another episode for you guys. But until then, you can go to our website and get tickets for WrestleScream on October 9th and 10th. And keep up with all of our socials. We'll probably be dropping news on what we're going to be talking about. And thank you again for another episode with Zap and Slash. And we will see you guys next week.
And don't forget, Never Back Down, which is probably happening right now as you watch this. So don't watch this. Go to Never Back Down, then watch this.
Yeah. Do those things. Do those two things in those orders.
Okay, bye.
Bye.